After U.S. President Joe Biden's shocking debate performance last week, there are strong reports of a portion of the Democratic Party working to replace him as the party's candidate for the White House. This accounts for a president and his party in a crisis just a little more than 4 months before the election. There remains significant unease with the Democratic Party and donors about Biden's performance. Concerns are being raised about his ability and mental acuity to contest as a candidate due to his age. Biden campaign team has recently announced that the U.S. president will stand at the November election, insisting that he's the only candidate can beat Trump. However, an increasing number of Americans believe that Biden isn't fit to be running in the upcoming contest due to his declining cognitive health. Doubts have sprung among nearly 3/4 of the electorate, including many within his own party, about Biden as a nominee. According to a new CBS poll, Trump, who is 78, has outperformed Biden in almost every area in the presidential debate. The 2024 Republican nominee presented his ideas clearly, inspired confidence while explaining his plans and policies. Nearly 3 in 4 voters don't think Biden should be running. This is a higher percentage sentiment compared to February, when almost 2/3 said Biden should not run for office. In contrast, Trump garners a wide view among Republicans that he must contest. Democrats are questioning Biden's ability to campaign than his decision-making. They're raising concern about U.S. president's mental and cognitive well-being to be able to lead as the president of the United States. An estimated 72% of voters believe that the second term for Biden wouldn't make meaningful inroads. They are now calling for Biden to drop out of the race. Meanwhile, only 28% agree that Biden casts themselves as better than Donald Trump and must run for office. Democrat Party's top leaders, including former President Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, senior congressional Democrats Hakeem Jeffries of New York, Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, and Nancy Pelosi of California, have offered public support for Biden, but many top Democrats have called on Biden to abandon the contest, fearing that they could lose Senate and the House. Remember, those elections are coming up as well. Democratic strategists, party donors, and congressmen have given 81-year-old 1 week to win over the Democrats before they try and get rid of him. They are calling on Biden to suspend his campaign in favor of a younger candidate. Democrats are said to be laying the groundwork for Joe Biden to, quote, make a dignified exit. But the dilemma remains that it would be very difficult and very unusual for the Democrat to find a new nominee ahead of the convention, which begins on August 19th. There's a strong view that there can be no replacement who can garner the same level of support, including from Donald Trump himself. All right, for more on this, we are being joined by Mark Marowitz, professor at State University of New York Maritime College and a lawyer, to get more on this. Mark, great to see you. Happy Monday. Well, it seems like people are still talking about this debate, and reports say that some Democrats are giving President Biden 1 week for an easy exit, for him to voluntarily step aside. The big question remains, first of all, will Biden be replaced? And is this easier said than done, considering Democrat Party rules, fundraising rules, and whatnot?
Well, first of all, I think we should mention Nikki Haley's warning about this, because she says that if the Democrats replace Biden with a younger candidate, that will be a tremendous challenge to Trump, and Trump could lose. And that, in fact, we see it in the Wall Street Journal, someone is writing, they'll replace Biden and replace Trump. So what we have here is literally a watershed in American history. We have a panic in the Democratic Party because, in actuality, who's out there to replace Biden? The choices are not great. Gavin Newsom, there's actually something in the Wall Street Journal today about Gavin Newsom. California is going to be his testing area. Employment is down and Californians are leaving. There are a lot of problems in California. So there are no blessings there. Michelle Obama, well, that's possible. Kamala Harris has even lower numbers than Joe Biden. So the Democrats are in a desperate situation. I think we're going to see also this morning, in a few minutes, when the Supreme Court issues its immunity decision, that will be very important too. So there are a lot of moving parts here. As far as Biden is concerned, I go to the New York Times, Sunday edition, and it says in an editorial by the editorial board, to serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. I don't think any more needs to be said on that. The Times said it, Joe Scarborough on MSNBC, and as much as the wishful thinking is out there, the Democrats know they're going down the hill. And to blame the advisors, I think, is, as we say, a cheap shot. Really, the advisors are at fault because the president didn't perform. He was out-prepared, over-prepared. Well, that's true. And 9 o'clock at night's too late for him. Yeah, that's all fine. But the fact is, the American people saw it clearly and saw that our president, unfortunately, and I say sadly, as an American, doesn't look like he's up to the job and even up to another 4 years. And that's very sad for the American people and the American system.
So on the one hand, it comes down to there's no one to replace him. On the other hand, he has to bow out himself, or else there's going to be legal issues, notably about campaign financing. But ultimately, it's interesting to see that it's only the Democrats who are calling for Biden to step aside. You don't hear any voices from the Republican side saying that he should.
Well, I mean, look, Trump's numbers are way up. And as far as Biden is concerned, I think that responsible Republicans and responsible Democrats, as the writer in the Wall Street Journal today, who wrote a piece, Ted Van Dyke, Biden should withdraw and so should Trump. The question is, and I'm not debating whether it's Trump and Biden, but the fact is that this has really caused Americans to look at this race and to look at this country and look at the future of this country. And we're in a very, very difficult and tough situation right now. So responsible Republicans, responsible Democrats, I'm sure, have the same feeling that Biden is our president, and that he showed a tremendous lack of capacity in understanding the issues and just in his ability to function. And that is worrisome because America has many adversaries. And they were watching the debate, too. And they must have seen the situation with the president. And that's going to be problematic for all Americans.
All right. Well, we're going to be watching very closely. The Biden team says that former President Barack Obama also had a shaky debate against Mitt Romney. It's just one debate. We're going to move on from this. Well, we'll be watching. And Mark, it's always great to talk to you.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.